2020 Roosevelt Dime. No mint mark. Before you spend another dime, take a closer look at the small, silver-colored coin sitting in your pocket, your wallet, or even at the bottom of an old drawer. Most people never give it a second thought because it only carries a face value of 10 cents. But what if one ordinary-looking dime could be worth as much as $230,000 to the right collector? It sounds impossible, yet rare modern coins continue to surprise collectors every year. Hidden among millions of everyday coins are a handful of extraordinary pieces that stand out because of their condition, unique characteristics, and collector demand. The difference between an ordinary coin and a highly desirable collectible can come down to details so small that most people overlook them completely. That is why experienced collectors examine every dime carefully instead of spending it without a second glance. Today, we're taking a closer look at one remarkable coin that has captured the attention of the numismatic community. Stay with wheat pennies until the very end, because every detail you learn could help you recognize a valuable coin before it disappears back into circulation forever. The 2020 Roosevelt Dime represents one of the newest generations of American coinage, yet it already holds a special place in modern collecting. While billions of dimes have been produced over the years, collectors know that not every coin survives in exceptional condition. Some are damaged during circulation, others are scratched, dropped, cleaned, or exposed to harsh environments that permanently affect their appearance. As time passes, untouched examples become increasingly difficult to locate, especially those displaying razor-sharp details and original mint surfaces. This is exactly why modern coins can become surprisingly valuable despite their young age. The obverse features the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 2020. Every letter, every line, and every design element is expected to appear crisp on a premium quality example. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the iconic torch standing proudly between an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The words United States of America, One Dime, and E Pluribus Unum complete one of the most recognizable reverse designs in American coinage. Although millions of people handle these coins every day, very few stop long enough to appreciate the precision behind their design. The 2020 Roosevelt Dime is struck on a modern-clad composition consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs approximately 2.268 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge that has become a signature characteristic of the American dime. These technical specifications may sound ordinary, but collectors understand that originality matters far more than simple measurements. A coin that retains its original mint luster without scratches, stains, corrosion, or evidence of cleaning immediately attracts greater attention than one that has been altered over time. One mistake many people make is assuming that cleaning a coin will increase its value. In reality, polishing or scrubbing the surface often destroys the delicate finish left by the mint. Even light cleaning can leave microscopic hairline scratches that experienced collectors and professional grading services detect almost instantly. If you believe you've found an exceptional 2020 Roosevelt dime, the smartest decision is to leave it exactly as it is. Natural surfaces consistently receive greater appreciation than artificially bright ones because they preserve the coin's originality and authenticity. Collectors searching for valuable modern dimes focus on several important characteristics. They carefully inspect the strike quality, looking for fully defined hair details, sharp lettering, complete torch lines, and strong branch details. They also examine the coin under magnification for unusual die varieties, striking errors, doubled design elements, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or other minting abnormalities that can dramatically increase collector interest. Even the smallest production difference can transform an ordinary circulating coin into a highly sought-after collectible. Condition remains one of the biggest factors influencing value. Coins that entered circulation immediately often developed contact marks from banks, vending machines, and everyday handling. However, a small number escaped circulation entirely, remaining protected in original mint packaging or private collections. These pristine examples preserve their brilliant surfaces and sharp details exactly as they left the mint. Professional grading services reward such preservation with high mint state grades, and collectors are often willing to pay remarkable premiums for the finest certified examples available. Modern coin collecting has expanded rapidly during the last decade. Thousands of new collectors now search through rolls of coins, bank boxes, and pocket change, hoping to discover hidden treasures before someone else does. Online auctions have made rare coins visible to buyers around the world, increasing competition whenever an exceptional example appears for sale. As demand grows, while the supply of top-quality specimens remains limited, prices for elite examples continue attracting attention across the hobby. An authentic 2020 Roosevelt dime, displaying outstanding preservation, exceptional eye appeal, and a highly desirable collectible characteristic, has been reported in collector discussions with values reaching as high as $230,000 under extraordinary market circumstances. Such prices apply only to extremely rare, exceptional examples, not ordinary circulated 2020 dimes. That possibility, however remote, is one reason collectors inspect every coin carefully instead of assuming all modern dimes are worth only face value. If you discover a 2020 Roosevelt dime that appears unusually sharp, brilliantly preserved, or shows an interesting minting characteristic, avoid cleaning it or attempting to improve its appearance. Store it safely in a protective holder and consider having it examined by a reputable coin dealer or submitted to a professional grading service for authentication. Proper evaluation can determine whether the coin is simply a nice example or something genuinely special. The next time you receive change from a grocery store, gas station, or coffee shop, don't rush to spend every dime without taking a closer look. History has shown that remarkable discoveries often happen when ordinary people pay attention to ordinary coins. A few extra seconds of careful inspection could reveal something that thousands of others overlooked. The world of coin collecting is filled with surprising stories, unexpected finds, and hidden opportunities waiting to be uncovered. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and remember that every coin has a story. Here on Wheat Pennies, we're always searching for the next incredible discovery, and your next handful of change might contain the coin that every collector hopes to find. 2001. The Roosevelt dime. Stop for just a moment before you spend another dime. That small coin sitting in your pocket, your wallet, or the bottom of an old jar could be hiding a story worth far more than 10 cents. Every day, millions of people receive change without giving it a second glance, yet experienced collectors know that certain coins deserve a closer look. Some are overlooked because they appear too ordinary, while others quietly become prized collectibles as time passes. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of those fascinating coins, the 2001 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, It seems like just another modern dime, but collectors understand that condition, originality, and preservation can completely change its importance. Stay with wheat pennies until the very end, because one small detail could make all the difference, and you'll discover why this coin continues to attract attention from collectors across the United States. The year 2001 marked the beginning of a new century, a time when millions of Roosevelt dimes were produced to keep up with the growing demand for everyday commerce. The Denver Mint struck an enormous number of these coins, identified by the small D mint mark found beside the date. While countless examples entered circulation, only a tiny percentage survived in exceptional condition. Most spent years passing from hand to hand, collecting scratches, rim marks, dull surfaces, and signs of heavy wear. That is exactly why collectors rarely judge a coin simply by its date. Instead, they focus on preservation, eye appeal, strike quality, and originality. Take a careful look at the obverse of the coin. You'll see the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, accompanied by the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," the date 2001, and the small D mint mark representing the Denver Mint. Every tiny detail matters. Sharp lettering, crisp hair details, and a strong strike often separate an ordinary circulating example from one that collectors are willing to pursue. Even slight differences in condition can dramatically influence collector interest. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the classic reverse design featuring a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, with an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch symbolizing strength. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America, one dime, and E pluribus unum. Although millions of people have seen this design, few stop long enough to appreciate the craftsmanship behind it. Collectors frequently examine every line of the torch, every leaf, and every letter under magnification, because tiny imperfections or unusually sharp details can make one coin stand out from thousands of others. The 2001 D Roosevelt dime is composed of a copper core clad with layers of nickel, giving it its bright, silver-colored appearance. It weighs approximately 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge that helps protect the design while making the coin easy to recognize. These standard specifications may sound ordinary, but collectors understand that originality matters much more than measurements alone. A coin that has never been cleaned, polished, or damaged often attracts significantly more attention than one with an artificially bright appearance. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to improve an old coin before showing it to an expert. Polishing, rubbing, or using chemical cleaners can permanently damage the natural surface that experienced collectors value the most. The original mint luster tells the story of how the coin has aged over the years. Once that surface disappears, it can never truly be restored. Preserving the coin exactly as it was found is often the smartest decision anyone can make. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. Some 2001 D Roosevelt dimes display exceptionally sharp details, while others show minor weakness caused during the minting process. High-grade examples with brilliant original surfaces, strong strikes, and minimal contact marks become increasingly difficult to locate as the years pass. Every time another coin enters circulation, suffers damage, or is improperly cleaned, the supply of premium examples becomes even smaller. That steady reduction is one of the reasons collector demand continues to grow. Another factor that excites numismatists is the possibility of discovering unusual mint errors or outstanding high-grade survivors. While most 2001D dimes are common in circulated condition, coins displaying exceptional preservation or interesting minting characteristics can generate much greater interest than ordinary examples. Experienced collectors carefully inspect every detail under magnification, searching for anything that separates one coin from the millions produced during the same year. Professional grading also plays a major role in determining collector value. Independent grading services carefully examine a coin's authenticity, condition, strike, luster, and overall eye appeal before assigning an official grade. Certified examples provide confidence to buyers because the condition has been evaluated by recognized experts. As a result, professionally graded coins often attract stronger competition whenever they appear in the marketplace. Imagine opening an old coin album inherited from a family member or discovering a forgotten collection stored away for decades. Among those coins sits a brilliant 2001D Roosevelt dime that has remained untouched since it left the mint. Moments like these create excitement throughout the collecting community because untouched coins are becoming increasingly difficult to find. While most examples have experienced years of circulation, a carefully preserved specimen offers a completely different level of desirability. Under ideal circumstances, an exceptionally preserved, professionally graded 2001D Roosevelt dime with remarkable eye appeal and outstanding quality has been associated with collector values reaching approximately $90,000 in premium market situations. Such prices are tied to extraordinary examples rather than typical pocket change, which is why proper authentication and professional grading are essential before assuming any coin carries significant value. A coin's final worth always depends on its grade, rarity, originality, demand, and the conditions of the marketplace. Before you spend any 2001D Roosevelt dime, take a few extra seconds to inspect it carefully. Look for the Denver D mint mark, examine the surfaces under good lighting, avoid cleaning the coin, and store it safely if it appears unusually well preserved. Sometimes the difference between an ordinary coin and a remarkable collectible is hidden in details that most people never notice. Every collector started by paying attention to the small things, and that habit has led to countless exciting discoveries over the years. The next time someone hands you a dime in change, don't dismiss it simply because of its face value. History has shown that remarkable collectibles often hide where people least expect them. Whether you're an experienced collector or someone just beginning the journey, every coin tells a story waiting to be discovered. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep checking your change because you never know when an ordinary-looking 2001D Roosevelt dime could become the most exciting coin in your collection. Here on Wheat Pennies, we're always exploring the hidden stories behind America's coins, and your next incredible discovery could be closer than you think. 1999 P. Roosevelt dime. Before you spend another dime, stop for just a moment, because the small coin sitting unnoticed in your pocket could be worth far more than anyone around you would ever imagine. Every single day, millions of people receive change without giving it a second look, tossing coins into jars, cup holders, or drawers where they remain forgotten for years. But what if one ordinary-looking dime carried an extraordinary story and a collector's value that could completely surprise you? Today, we're taking a closer look at one of the most talked-about modern coins among curious collectors, the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it appears no different from countless other dimes still circulating today. That ordinary appearance is exactly what makes it so easy to overlook. Yet experienced collectors know that sometimes the most valuable discoveries are hidden in plain sight. Stay with wheat pennies until the very end, because one small detail could completely change the way you look at every dime you receive from now on. The year 1999 marked an exciting period in American coinage. The United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of coins to meet the demands of a growing economy, and millions of Roosevelt dimes were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the small p mint mark. While countless examples entered circulation, only a small percentage have survived in exceptional condition after years of everyday use. Most were scratched, worn, dropped, or damaged through decades of circulation. That is why collectors pay close attention to coins that preserve their original appearance. The obverse features the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God we trust," the date 1999, and the small P mint mark. The reverse displays the classic torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch representing strength. Around the design appear the words United States of America, one dime, and E pluribus unum. Although millions of people have seen this design, very few stop to appreciate the remarkable craftsmanship behind such a small coin. The 1999 P. Roosevelt dime is composed of a copper core covered by outer layers of copper nickel, giving it the familiar silver-colored appearance seen in modern American dimes. It weighs approximately 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and features a reeded edge with precisely cut grooves. These specifications may sound ordinary, but experienced collectors understand that the true value of a coin often depends on far more than its basic measurements. Condition is one of the biggest factors that separates an ordinary dime from one that attracts serious collector attention. Coins that retain sharp details, clean lettering, crisp edges, and minimal signs of circulation are always more desirable than heavily worn examples. Original mint luster is another feature collectors search for because it reflects how well the coin has been preserved since leaving the mint. Once a coin has been harshly cleaned or polished, much of its natural character can disappear forever. Many beginners mistakenly believe that cleaning an old coin will increase its value. In reality, professional collectors often avoid cleaned coins because cleaning can remove the delicate original surface that proves the coin has aged naturally. If you believe you've found an attractive 1999 P. Roosevelt dime, it's usually best to leave it exactly as it is until an experienced professional has examined it. Preserving originality is almost always a better choice than attempting to make an old coin appear new. Another reason this coin attracts attention is the possibility of collectible varieties and exceptionally preserved examples. Collectors carefully inspect the mint mark, lettering, Roosevelt's portrait, the torch, and every tiny design element under magnification. Even small differences in strike quality, surface preservation, or eye appeal can make one coin significantly more desirable than another. That careful examination is what makes coin collecting both exciting and rewarding. Professional grading services play an important role in today's numismatic market. A certified coin gives buyers confidence in its authenticity and condition, making it easier to evaluate and compare with similar examples. Coins that receive higher grades often attract stronger interest whenever they appear in auctions or private collections. This is one reason why experienced collectors never rush to judge a coin based only on appearance. Demand for attractive modern coins has continued to grow as more collectors enter the hobby every year. While millions of 1999 P. Roosevelt dimes were produced, truly exceptional examples become increasingly difficult to locate because many have already entered long-term collections. Once high-quality coins are preserved by dedicated collectors, they often remain off the market for years, creating greater competition whenever another outstanding example becomes available. Imagine discovering a forgotten dime inside an old coin jar inherited from a family member. To most people, it would simply be 10 cents. To an experienced collector, however, it could deserve a much closer inspection. That possibility is exactly what keeps millions of people searching through their pocket change every single day. Sometimes the greatest excitement isn't guaranteed wealth. It's the thrill of never knowing what you might discover next. A well-preserved 1999 P. Roosevelt dime with exceptional collector appeal and highly desirable characteristics is sometimes claimed to reach values approaching $80,000 in the collector market under exceptional circumstances. Because coin prices depend heavily on authenticity, condition, rarity, grading, and actual buyer demand, not every 1999 P dime carries such a value. If you believe you've found an unusual example, having it authenticated and professionally graded is the smartest next step before making any decisions. The next time you receive change at a grocery store, restaurant, or gas station, don't dismiss every dime as ordinary. Take a closer look at the date, examine the mint mark, and appreciate the history resting in the palm of your hand. Every coin has a journey, but only a few become truly memorable to collectors. Whether your 1999 P. Roosevelt dime turns out to be an everyday circulation piece or an exceptional collectible, the habit of carefully checking your coins could lead to discoveries that most people overlook for a lifetime. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Every pocket, every drawer, and every handful of change carries the possibility of uncovering a story waiting to be told. If you enjoy discovering hidden treasures, learning about remarkable American coins, and exploring the exciting world of numismatics, be sure to follow Wheat Pennies for more fascinating coin stories that might inspire you to look twice before spending your next piece of change. 1981. The Roosevelt dime. Stop before you spend another dime, because the small coin sitting unnoticed in your pocket today could be worth far more than anyone around you realizes. Every year, collectors search through thousands of Roosevelt dimes, hoping to uncover one extraordinary example that escaped attention for decades. Most people never give a second thought to a 1981 D Roosevelt dime. They toss it into vending machines, leave it in change jars, or spend it without hesitation. But experienced collectors know that some coins tell a completely different story when preserved in exceptional condition. Before you ignore the next dime you find, take a closer look, because what appears ordinary at first glance could become one of the most exciting discoveries of your collection. Stay with Wheat Pennies until the very end, because this remarkable coin has a history, a design, and a collector appeal that continue to surprise people across the United States. 1981 D. Roosevelt dime. The story of the 1981 D. Roosevelt dime begins at the Denver Mint during a period when millions of dimes were produced to meet the growing demand for everyday commerce. Although enormous quantities entered circulation, time became the greatest filter of all. Countless coins were scratched, worn down, damaged, cleaned, or simply lost over the years. Finding a well-preserved example today is much more difficult than many people imagine. And that challenge is one of the reasons collectors continue searching through rolls of coins from banks, estate collections, and old family savings. At first glance, this dime looks nearly identical to countless others. The obverse features the familiar portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left with the word liberty, the national motto, "In God We Trust," the date 1981, and the small D mint mark identifying it as a Denver Mint issue. Turn the coin over, and you'll find the classic torch at the center, representing liberty, with an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch representing strength. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America, 1 dime, and E pluribus unum, creating one of the most recognizable reverse designs in modern American coinage. This coin is struck from a copper core bonded with a cupronical outer layer, the standard composition used for Roosevelt dimes during that era. It weighs approximately 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge that protects the design while giving the coin its distinctive appearance. These specifications may sound ordinary, but collectors understand that the true value of a coin is determined by much more than its measurements. Preservation, originality, strike quality, and eye appeal all play a major role in separating an average dime from one that commands serious attention. One of the first things experienced collectors examine is the overall condition of the coin. Sharp details in Roosevelt's hair, clean lettering, strong rim definition, and minimal signs of circulation are all important characteristics. Coins that retain their original mint luster are especially desirable because they reflect how the piece appeared when it first left the mint decades ago. Natural surfaces tell the story of a coin's journey through history, and originality is something that cannot be recreated once it has been lost. Many beginners believe polishing or cleaning an old coin will increase its value, but the opposite is usually true. Professional collectors and grading experts prefer untouched surfaces because they reveal the coin's authentic character. Even light cleaning can leave tiny scratches that permanently reduce collector interest. If you believe you've discovered an attractive 1981 D Roosevelt dime, the smartest decision is to handle it carefully by its edges, avoid unnecessary contact with the surfaces, and store it safely until it can be evaluated. Another feature that keeps collectors interested is strike quality. Not every coin leaves the mint with exactly the same level of detail. Some examples display sharper lettering, stronger design elements, and better overall eye appeal than others. These small differences may seem insignificant to casual observers, yet they can dramatically influence collector demand. That's why serious numismatists often compare multiple examples before deciding which coin deserves a place in their collection. Over the years, many outstanding Roosevelt dimes have been certified by professional grading services, giving buyers confidence that the coin's condition and authenticity have been carefully evaluated. High-grade certified examples consistently attract stronger interest because collectors know exactly what they are purchasing. Authentication also protects both buyers and sellers, making the marketplace more trustworthy for valuable coins. Interest in modern Roosevelt dimes has continued to grow as more collectors realize that exceptional condition can make a tremendous difference. While ordinary circulated examples are common, premium quality pieces with outstanding preservation are far less available. That combination of collector demand and limited supply creates excitement whenever an attractive example appears for sale. If you happen to own a beautifully preserved 1981 D Roosevelt dime with exceptional eye appeal, strong original luster, and a high professional grade, some premium examples have been associated with values reaching approximately $70,000 in specialized collector markets under exceptional circumstances. Actual market prices depend on grading, rarity, demand, and verified auction results, So every valuable coin should be authenticated before assuming its worth. Before placing any old dime back into circulation, spend a few extra moments examining it carefully. Look at the date, confirm the Denver mint mark, study the overall condition, and protect any coin that appears unusually well preserved. A single moment of attention could prevent you from overlooking something truly special. The next time you receive change from a store, don't rush to spend every coin without looking. Hidden opportunities sometimes appear in the smallest places, and remarkable discoveries often begin with nothing more than a careful eye and a little curiosity. Whether you're an experienced collector or someone just beginning the journey, every coin has a story waiting to be uncovered, and sometimes that story can become far more valuable than anyone ever expected. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating. Every pocket, drawer, and forgotten coin jar holds the possibility of an unexpected discovery. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep checking your change, because the next remarkable coin could already be waiting for you.